Welcome to the annual Hyde Street Party. This scarfy tradition began in 1995 as a keg race between the flats on this infamous street, and over the years has developed into the event that we know today. Its branding has been a critical factor in developing it into the cultural icon that it has become. Apart from being a party to enjoy with friends and other students, the event also serves as a means for attendees to express themselves through their creative costumes. In this video, we're going to look into some of the consumer behaviour principles that underpin the party, including cultural branding, brand meaning, identity brands, symbolic identity goods, and identity quests. We're also going to hear the opinions from Matt, a Hyde Street resident and partygoer, Alexandra, another party attendee, Bree, the marketing manager for OUSA, and Sylvia, a local Dunedin resident. Cultural branding is a concept that was introduced by Douglas Holt in 2004 in his publication How Brands Become Icons. The goal of it is to build a brand into a cultural icon. A cultural icon can come in numerous forms, including an event such as the Hyde Street Party. The icon serves as a symbol of an ideal that people place importance, esteem, and value in. The increased exclusivity and fear of missing out trends that have recently developed around the party have created this desirable ideal for many students. The successful cultural branding of the Hyde Street Party has built it into an integral part of Dunedin culture for students, the university, and locals alike.
Yes, I did attend the Hyde Street Party this year and the previous year.
I did attend this year and I went last year and the year before.
Biased, but if you're a top university town in New Zealand, you've got to have that sort of atmosphere. You've got to have those sort of highlights in the year, traditions, and yeah.
Holt proposed that brand meaning is a result of collective interruptions by multiple stakeholders over numerous historical moments. The Hyde Street Party aligns with this theory for several reasons. Firstly, the brand of Hyde Street, as developed by the stakeholders, the students and the university, has been a result of collective cultural interruptions annually over more than a decade. These interruptions include changes in the normal behaviours of the stakeholders for the party, such as planning, purchasing tickets, organising costumes, shutting down streets, and other practices involved with the party.
Well, we came up with our costume idea by brainstorming as a flat, and then we picked the best one out.
Well, we always wanted to make them ourselves, so we'd usually have a look at what materials were around so that we could come up with something. We'd usually find the material first and then build on the outfit from there. Otherwise, we'd just find whatever we could at op shops.
If I know it's coming, I do tend to go and stay with other friends or go away, just because it is quite noisy and it's really hard to have your car nearby. It starts early, so really they're pretty much done and dusted by the time it gets dark.
Also developed through the Hyde Street Party are identity brands. These are formed when the product supplied has value for the consumer through their ability to express themselves with it. We see this concept in action with the costumes at the party. Participants express themselves through their costumes with a wide range of styles, themes, and categories being seen each year.
I like to place a lot of importance on my costume on the day because I like to represent myself well and the ideas we came up with.
The Hyde Street Party has become an ego-expressive event in itself because of the esteem and pride that attendees hold in their costumes and appearance on the day. These costumes serve as symbolic identity goods, something that one uses to enhance their sense of self-regard and self-esteem. Khalil noted that these symbolic identity goods are significantly different from substantive goods, which serve only for the purpose of personal welfare. We see this in the Hyde Street Party with many people dressing in costumes that provide very little for their personal welfare. This shows how the partygoers have invested into this cultural branding, and thus identity branding, as a means to express themselves, enhance their sense of self, and choose these over substantive products.
I would definitely say that being warm is not a priority. The biggest priority would be not necessarily looking cool, but looking how you want your costume to look. So
Whatever wants to look pretty groovy and dressed up for a party, and while you're picking out your costume, you're probably not thinking what state you're going to be in perhaps a few hours later.
I definitely do think that something is important. I mean, you don't really want to show up in your outfit, which you've worked so hard to make, and just look the same as everyone else. So what's the point in that?
It is very important to me that I have different outfits to everyone else on Hyde because I like my ideas to be individual and creative.
Tuden stated that brands, products and styles provide a tangible method of meaning transference for consumers who seek to both fit into peer groups and express individuality. Party attendees, or consumers, seek to both fit in with the larger peer group by attending the party, but also seek to express their individuality through their costumes. Expression of individuality is strongly seen with costumes, as most students aim to have an original costume that is different from everyone else. There is also some sense of avoidance and disappointment in having the same costume as anyone else outside of your friendship group.
I think everyone goes pretty hard. I would probably put myself sort of in the middle of the range, like put a bit of effort in, like to look good, but don't revolve the whole couple of weeks around Hyde Street towards the costume and looking good for Hyde Street.
This notion is further supported by Holt, who said that consumers feel their identity building projects are intense personal quests, but in truth, similar quests are shared by many in the population. Partygoers take a lot of pride in their costume, and this is a form of an intense personal quest to express their individuality. However, in truth, we see that everyone in the event population also shares these same individual quests.
I wouldn't say I'd be annoyed. Like, maybe annoyed if like one of your friends had copied what you were doing, that'd be kind of but I do want to be annoyed, and I think if you show up and someone has the same costume as you obviously weren't original enough.
I think it's just another great tradition that adds to the value of the university and the university life and what it offers here in Dunedin. It's it's a nice tradition. It's well run, so everybody knows when it's on, so it's organised so people can sort of deal with it.
We took over the organisation of the event in 2013, and my first year attending Hyde Street as a party goer in 2014 when OUS had taken over. They had put in ticketing, so the residents got tickets and they could give them out for free, and then I think it costed everyone else $5, and there was only so many tickets. They didn't have the ballot system then. Because if OUS hadn't stepped in when they did, the party wouldn't still be going now. So the year that the roof collapsed in was probably the breaking point for like the police and all the emergency services and the council, and for the image of the city as well, and the university. Something had to come in place for the party to carry on, just with the safety measures and stuff. To some extent, yes, but Hyde Street has always been the same, I guess, image all along, and everyone still has that image of Hyde Street, that it's the party of the year to attend, and no matter what we do and whatever regulations we put in place, that tradition still lives on. No, so branding's been there, like I just said, so the tradition and the brand has just lived on, I guess, from when Hyde Street was first ever created and became what it is today. We don't actually market for Hyde Street, so because the demand's there that sells out in seconds, we don't have to put any marketing into it. We do a lot of marketing in terms of, we create a Facebook page with all the key information in, and when tickets are going on sale, how the ballot works, we wrap wristbands and all of that.
In summary, we can conclude that the Hyde Street Party is an integral part of Dunedin culture, thanks to the branding concepts that have developed it. It will be interesting to see how this cultural icon evolves in the years to come.